You're good, you're live.
Everybody, this is Mike Nasty, Fat Man, Sports Talk 3. As you can see right here, Sports Talk 3, Mike Nasty. At Mike Nasty, Fat Man Workouts, YouTube. You can view me on YouTube. And you look up Mike Nastos. Here we go. Well, like I said, part 3, Ravens, Pittsburgh. Couldn't get to Big Ben. Big Ben ripped them apart. Joe was inconsistent Joe. Joe was throwing the ball in the red zone twice. We couldn't convert. Said that Jackson was his last read. You don't get 5 reads in football. You don't get enough time to look down at your progressions that long. Maybe three at the most. Big Ben was ripping them apart in the red zone. You couldn't get him down. You needed to pressure him. It's not all Joe's fault. It's a team. Safeties, they might have stopped Brown, held him to 68 yards, but Schuster went off on him. That always happens. You stop the big guy, then somebody else goes off. Our receivers, we don't have the yard after the catch. They don't have. I know they're new, but they don't get too much yardage after they catch the ball. So our red zone was terrible. Our defense can't stop anybody in the red zone now. They went 5 quarters, 6 quarters with nobody scoring in the second half. And now Drew Brees threw on them. Cam Newton threw on them. Big Ben ripped them apart. You weren't getting Big Ben twice. They weren't coming in here losing to. So that's what they got. Now they're sitting at 4 and 5 at the break. They get some time to heal, bring some people back. Now they got to beat Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati was the last game, but Cincinnati's next. Then you got to go. Then they're going to have to go out and see Patrick Mahomes sometime, and that boy can play. He can throw. I think he only has 1 interception this year to who knows how many touchdowns, but the guy's incredible. 4 touchdowns a game. He set a record at the beginning of the year, throwing consistent 4 touchdowns each game. So that's going to be a big game for us against the Chiefs. And then we play... who else will we play? A couple other good guys. Atlanta, we're going to have to see Ryan. He's starting to fire it up. They're moving up the rankings. They're getting it together. So the NBA, the Wizards, 2 and 7. They finally snapped the 5-game losing streak on Monday. The Lakers are now 4 and 6. LeBron won a game. Talked up for his coach, and then here they go. It's still early in the NBA season. College football, #1 ranking, Alabama, they were fierce. Nobody's going to beat Alabama. That quarterback that they have can throw the ball. Good read, good smart kid. Then you got Clemson. Clemson has a good quarterback coming in. Then you got Michigan whooped Penn State. Then you got Georgia, Oklahoma, West Virginia, that was in the barn burner, boy. Those boys were fighting it out. That was an exciting finish there. West Virginia came out on top of Texas. That was a good one. Then you got Ohio State. They're going to fight to get into the playoffs. I don't know if they have a chance. LSU, these guys here, LSU, Washington, they round out the top 10. They might have a struggling chance. They got to hope for a loss. Even if Alabama gets a loss, they're so powerful that I don't even think it's going to affect them. They'll still be in the playoffs. But I don't think anybody's going to beat them. Like I said, they look like a well-oiled machine. Clemson's a good-looking team, too. They put up 77 points. But, college football, the more points you put up, the better it looks for you. Then we got college basketball coming up tonight. Maryland basketball plays Delaware at the Xfinity Center. They said that the crowds haven't been there. When they had their little preseason game, maybe 1,000 people. All the turmoil that Maryland's in. The basketball team's separate, but they're still, sports. They're still brothers. But they'll still run their program the way they run it. Turgeon's a good coach. He has some good kids. He should be able to get back to the NCAA, but he's not ranked anywhere. You got your rankings of Kansas, North Carolina, Virginia, Gonzaga, Tennessee, Villanova, the last year's champions, like in #7. Syracuse, Wisconsin, Kentucky, and Marquette. Boeheim always knows how to win. He plays a good he plays good defense. When I coach, that's what I coach, defense. Everybody can learn defense and you'll be fine. So Drew Brees finally handed the Rams their first loss. Drew Brees had 4 touchdowns. You know, that's a Hall of Famer right there. You never count the kid out. And like I said, Mahomes, he had 3 TDs in his game pass for 375. We're going to have to see him. So, in the paper a couple days ago, I had an article that said, don't point fingers, take responsibility. And it's talking about athletics and kids and how kids can grow through athletics and people pointing fingers. You know, people maybe pointing fingers at the Maryland situation, pointing fingers at other things that happen in sports. Why this, why that? Or if you do something, you always say, it wasn't me. I kind of get that. My wife knows when I'm doing that. You know, families here. You know, earlier, just a couple minutes ago, my daughter comes down, wants a ride, never tells me nothing but says, oh, you got to take me here, take me here. She's 16, but she hasn't got her license yet, and she's just sitting here annoying me, getting me mad. So, apologize to her. But it says, don't point fingers. And what it says at the end, it's a guy named Robert Brown. He's a writer for our paper. It says, the lessons we learn in sports are easily transferable in life. There are times where we can help mold the student's ability to think for themselves, to respect people whose opinions, positions may be different from ours. Take responsibility for their words and their actions. Failures to take personal responsibility is now sneaking into the workforce. Parents are calling their adult child's performance evaluation or a lack of pay raises throughout your life. You will find that individuals and situations may not be ideal for meeting your personal goals, but you have to learn to coexist, to work together, and find a common solution. And that's in, like he says, that's in anywhere. You got to learn how to coexist. You don't have to be friends with everybody, but you still have to coexist. Be polite. Say your hellos, do your things, but that doesn't mean you have to be the best buddies. You can be acquaintances. You can do things. Take the responsibility, you know. Apologize when you do something wrong. Like, I apologized to my daughter earlier because she was getting on my nerves. But that's what you do. You take responsibility. I always point the finger at my kids and say they did it. My wife knows I'm a liar, so then I have to go and say, yeah, I did it. But yeah, always accept responsibility. I tell my kids that on the sports field, be responsible for your own actions. You know, somebody does something to another kid. I think there was something on the news. Sports teams could lose their varsity eligibility in the playoffs because of, you know, hazing. Hazing isn't a thing that you want to do anymore nowadays. You know, they did stuff like that. You know, carrying someone's luggage, having the freshman or somebody carry your luggage or your books or something, that's nothing. But when you start doing things that are not appropriate, then that's something. So, you always got to watch what you do. You got to be responsible. You got to take care of your own self. Don't follow. Be a leader. Be responsible. Sports talk. How's my sports talk? A couple minutes here of sports talk. You know, talking about, like I said, don't point fingers. A guy named Robert Brown wrote that article. I kind of found it interesting, you know. So, we got a bye week for the Ravens. My nephews are going to the Caps game tonight. My older nephew and my middle nephew, Austin. How you doing, Austin? What's up, buddy? Shout outs to everybody there that's listening to me. Any of my co-workers or anybody that's been sharing my videos or talking to me. Shout outs to you. How you doing? How you doing, everybody? This is Mike Nasty, Fat Man. I went live. I hope I didn't get in trouble, because I went live again. Here we go. Mike Nasty, working it out. Here we go. Did we do it? Did we do it? Mike Nasty. Shout outs to everybody. How you doing, boys? Ladies? What's up? The end. Mike Nasty, part 3.